In today's video, we're going to be going over, is life insurance worth it, or is it just a giant waste of money? Now, a lot of people ask me, Philip, should I just save my money instead? And what I would put in the life insurance and paying premiums, should I just put that into a bank account, or should I put that into an investment account and just grow that instead of purchasing life insurance? And I give them the same answer every single time. I say, well, listen, you tell me when you would like to die, and I'll tell you the perfect time to buy life insurance. Now, that's a little bit of a joke, but obviously we can't pick when we die, and some accidents just happen out of the blue. And if you have people that your loved ones, the people that you care about, that financially rely upon you, getting life insurance is a very responsible and very important thing to do. What's up, guys? My name is Philip Setter. I'm the founder and CEO of Affinity Life, which is an online life insurance brokerage here in Canada where you can view quotes 100% online and actually apply 100% online as well. If that sounds interesting to you, I'll put the link in the description below. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So in this video, we're going to be going over a couple of things. So who needs life insurance? Who doesn't need life insurance? That's actually a really important one as well. What's the best type of life insurance? So we're going to go over term versus permanent. And lastly, what's the best age to get life insurance? So that's four. There we go. That's four things. So let's just get right into it. Number one, who needs life insurance? The easiest rule of thumb to determine whether or not you need life insurance here is very simple. If you have loved ones within your life that financially rely upon you, and if you were to pass away, they would be very financially impacted by you passing away, you probably need life insurance. So this could be as simple as parents that you're taking care of. This could be parents that are maybe into their retirement, but you're financially responsible for them. This could be stay-at-home spouses. This could be couples. Couples is one of the biggest ones. If you have a partner, you guys live together, you have children, you have a house, you have car payments, you have bills. If you were to pass away, they would be financially impacted, and it would be a very difficult time without your income there. That's a really easy rule of thumb. 100% you need life insurance. Some other ones would be like caretakers of, again, maybe the parents, but also maybe a disabled child. If you have a disabled child and you know you're going to have to take care of them for the rest of their life, having life insurance to cover that if something were to happen to you is very important. And business owners. Business owners is another one. If you have a business and you have multiple shareholders in the business, this is pretty straightforward. Number one, you want to have it, of course, if you did pass away, there'd be responsibilities that you take care of in the business. But number two, there's something known as buy-sell insurance, and this just provides a mechanism for the deceased family to then sell those shares back to the corporation, because the deceased family is not going to be in that corporation, of course. The other shareholders can just use the life insurance and then buy those shares and then give those life insurance proceeds to the deceased family. Everybody wins. The shareholders can continue on with running the business, and the deceased family, of course, I mean, they don't have their loved ones, so they're not really winning that much, but at least they do get that life insurance for those shares. So who doesn't need life insurance? Well, if no one is really depending on your income, you have no dependents, you have no spouse, you have no children, you're not taking care of your parents, you're just kind of going out on your own, doing your own thing, you probably don't need life insurance. And I get this other question quite a bit here as well, as they say, well, should I just buy life insurance early on in life so I lock in the rate? And I don't know. This one I would say is very 50-50. I mean, you could buy a small amount of life insurance to lock in a good rate while you're young, but I would suggest not buying that much. Don't be spending too much money per month on life insurance. Don't buy life insurance for something that you don't need at that current time. I would actually probably recommend just maybe get a little bit, but more often than not, I would say just wait until you're a little bit older and you have people that actually rely upon you financially. And in that case, then you can reassess it at that point. Another argument, though, that can be made with that is they say, well, maybe you should get life insurance while you're young and still healthy. Maybe some adverse health condition could come up in the future. And in that case, you wouldn't be able to get life insurance at a preferable rate. So get it while you're young and lock in that rate. Again, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that as well. For sure, yep, that's definitely a possibility that could happen. Some adverse health condition could happen to you later on in life where you can't qualify for a cheap preferential life insurance rate. However, I'm just of the opinion that I'm generally opposed to buying things when you don't need them at that time. So sure, if you're flush with cash and you can afford having a little bit on you while you're young to lock in the rate, do it. If you're not, I would say wait until you actually have a need for life insurance later on in the future and then reassess it at that point. Now, another person who doesn't need life insurance is that individual that has sufficient savings or investments or other type of assets that could pay for all the costs associated with you passing away. So, I mean, there's quite a few. A funeral can be anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 here in Canada. Outstanding debt, if you had mortgages, if you had cars, if you had other debt, lines of credit, credit cards, future expenses for your children, such as maybe childcare expenses or school expenses in the future. And then, of course, last but not least, but helping the surviving spouse, if you did have a spouse at that point, with maintaining that standard of living that, of course, they're accustomed to because they're with you and, you guys both have an income or one of you has an income and you're paying for a lot of things. However, if you did have sufficient savings to cover that cost, you might not need life insurance at that point. Although if you're still relatively young and it's still relatively inexpensive, such as a term product, then I would say it wouldn't hurt to just get it and cover it off. But if you did have sufficient assets and other capital to cover all those expenses, then I would say there's probably not a need for life insurance. Okay, so should you buy term life insurance or permanent life insurance? Now, I made a couple other videos about this, and I'll put one of them there, term versus permanent. However, here's just a little bit of a general outline. So term life insurance is really just used to cover you for a specific period of time. It's relatively inexpensive. It's very affordable. It's used to cover you, like I mentioned, for a very specific period of time, such as maybe you just got married, you had children, you bought a new house, you bought a new car, you started a new job, you're now starting your life. And for the next 20 to 30 years, if something were to happen to you, your family would be very financially impacted. That's exactly what term life insurance is for. And by the way, if you're looking for term life insurance, visit affinitylife.ca. Again, the link is in the description below, and you can instantly see quotes for different products here in Canada. Now, where term life insurance is meant to cover you for a specific period of time during your life, permanent life insurance is meant to cover you no matter what until the end of life. And so what this is really used for is now estate planning or leaving something behind to your children or to your grandchildren. This shouldn't be used for any type of lifetime planning. This should be used for your end of life planning. It's a much more expensive product than term life insurance. It's typically 5 to 6 more times expensive than the equivalent in a term life insurance product. So again, it's really not for those young families looking for an inexpensive product to cover them for a specific period of time. It's for those individuals that are looking towards estate planning. Maybe they have taxes that they need to pay at death, or again, they want to leave something behind to maybe a charity, their children, or their grandchildren. Now, you may have heard before from some people or there's some advisors out there that you can use permanent life insurance as an investment and you should just buy this instead of term life insurance and you can use it as an investment during retirement. This is a giant can of worms. I'm not going to open up in this video. I made another video and I'll put it right there about why I think that's a bad idea for the majority of Canadians. However, it could be a very good idea for a minority of Canadians, such as high-income earners and high-net-worth individuals that have already maxed out their RRSP or their TFSA, and they're looking for some type of alternative investment. But for the vast majority of Canadians, I do not think it's a good idea. Now, what's the best age to get life insurance? Again, we talked about earlier on in this video, maybe getting life insurance at a younger age when you can lock in a rate. However, again, I would say just keep that to a minimum amount if you were to do that and wait until you have people that are financially dependent upon you, such as your spouse or children or other individuals, and get life insurance at that point when you actually need it. Don't get life insurance when you have no need for it. Wait until you actually have a need for it. Save your money and then get it at that point. So is life insurance worth it? Well, I would say if you have people that are financially dependent upon you, then absolutely it's worth it for them to have the peace of mind knowing that if something were to happen to you, they would still be taken care of. And if for whatever reason you can't afford the entire amount that you think you need, just get something. I will tell you from personal experience, something is better than nothing. If let's say you take a calculator or take our recommendation quiz, which we have on the website, and it recommends, let's say $1 million or $2 million of face amount, but you look at the premium and you can say, Philip, I can only afford $80 a month or $50 a month, and that is only going to get me $500,000 or $750,000 in face amount, then that's fine. Get that. That I guarantee you from personal experience will be better than nothing. Get what you can afford if that's all you can get at the end of the day. So with that being said, I hope I answered your question, is life insurance worth it? If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you guys are enjoying this content, all I ask is that you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.